Hey guys, how you doing? Tom's back with another video here. Listen, on this video, I wanted to talk about basically I totaled up all the medical costs that I've had. Because I mentioned in the previous video, it just had some medical issues, nothing major, but mostly there was like a pain in my sort of in the hip area, in the back of the lower back, and it was like a nerve pain situation. So I pretty much has it. I have it resolved. But I mean, obviously there were several doctor visits, and then there was a couple of ultrasounds. There was an MRI. You know what I mean? There was some stuff, and medication and all that, right? That had to do with this issue. It wound up where I was able, after actually taking the MRI to a specialist, which like a surgeon, like a back surgeon, he just looked at it and he said, he recommended physical therapy, which was really a good thing for me to do, and I did it, and now I just do it on my own. Like what they were doing for me and with me in the physical therapy of the doctor's office, uh, I was able to just carry that over and just do it on my own. All those different exercises that they were having me do. The only thing that I can't duplicate at home is I obviously can't. She was putting on like these sort of like sonic vibration things, like for the muscles, for the lower back muscles, like these little, it's just like a little vibration. It was almost like the chair, those chairs that massage your back, like that's what it felt like. And then it heated up. There was some heat involved. So obviously, I mean, I can't really do that. That's what she was doing at the very beginning. And then I would do all these exercises, which I can do on my own. And then at the end, the last thing I can't really duplicate either because it was like a traction machine that sort of takes the pressure off your back and stuff. It kind of pulls you a little bit, like your lower body from your torso, just to kind of take the edge off of your, or take the load off of your lower back, I guess, right? Um, but I mean, I don't really think I need to keep doing that. I mean, I did that like whatever 5 times, during the 5 therapy sessions. So I'm just doing the stretching and stuff, right? But I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy to do it. And it's like it's something that I do like 5 times a week. It's kind of like my walking. I walk a couple miles a day, at least 5 to 6 times a week. And then same thing with the stretching. It's pretty much usually at least 5 days a week I'll do it. It takes me about 20 to 30 minutes. I usually just put the headphones on, listen to music like YouTube playlist or whatever, and I just kind of do all the exercises while I'm listening to music. So it's kind of nice. Just do it right on my bed here. But anyway, so everything's resolved. But I wanted to sort of give you guys the costs, right? And just so you have an idea how much stuff costs here. Now I am in Manila, but this is I'm went to the Commonwealth Medical Center on it's over here on Regalado Boulevard, and I think it's considered it's either Fairview or Novaliches. It's either still Novaliches or it's a Fairview. But it's part of Quezon City. It's kind of like the edge of it, you know, the sort of northern part of Quezon City. But it's a good hospital. I have no issues with them at all. I mean, they did really well for me. Every doctor I dealt with and everything, and all the services that I had done. Everything was good. I got nothing bad to say about them. And I know that they're not as expensive as that St. Luke's, the one that's in like Metro Manila or whatever, or Makati or wherever it's at. I can almost guarantee that's gonna be more expensive, even for the same services. But anyway, let's just go over these numbers, and then I'll total it out at the end. Now, I also had, since I'm very close to getting my SRRV visa, military courtesy visa, so I had to do a medical. I did that here. There's a medical document that you have to execute involving tests and X-rays and all that. They basically want to make sure that they do a chest X-ray, so you don't. They want to make sure you don't have TB. They do a fecal exam, stool sample to make sure you don't have parasites. They do like blood tests to make sure that you don't have anything else, like any kind of STDs or anything. Also, like a urine test, kind of for the same type of thing. So that's mostly it. There's about 4 tests involved, and then the doctor just has to fill it out for you, order the test. You get the test results back. He looks at them, and then he just signs off on the document, and that's what you wind up providing to the your visa company, whoever you're using to execute your visa for you. Most people do that. Otherwise, you're dealing with, I guess, directly with either the Philippine Retirement Agency or the immigration, directly. Um, if you want to do that yourself, I could do another video on that. But anyway, the medical test, let's just stick to the subject here. The medical test concerning that, the SRV that I needed, was about $39. Now, I didn't really have to do a separate doctor's visit for that, because while I was seeing my regular doctor for these other things, I sort of whipped out the medical document and kind of had him do it in order what I needed to get done. You know what I mean? So now, if I did add in the doctor's visit, that's another 700 pesos, or what is that? Maybe $12 now, I think, maybe $11, something like that. So it was about $39. So you figure if normally you would have a doctor's visit involved, so you're talking about $50 US, okay, basically, to get that medical done in the Philippines. Now, if you did try to do that in the US and your insurance didn't cover it, which they likely wouldn't, I don't know what it would cost. At least $200 probably. Because you're talking about a chest X-ray, a stool sample, urine, blood, for specific things, and believe me. And then just the doctor's visit, I'm telling you, it'd be at least a couple $100. So anyway, that's not part of my sort of regular medical, what I'm talking about here, the medical issue that I had, but I just thought I'd let you guys know that. So, okay, so for my meds, for all the meds that I had to get, prescriptions, there was like 2 or 3 pills that I had to take. One of them I'm still taking, but the pain ones I'm no longer taking, okay? So there's basically 3 total, and that was about $120, okay, total cost to me, out of pocket. I don't have insurance here in the Philippines. That's just cash, And it looks like it was about maybe 6 or 7 different prescriptions, you know what I mean? Like, for it's been 3 months or whatever, since I've been into this issue. So just so you know, so it's about $120 for all the meds. Now all the tests I had basically 2 ultrasounds and 1 MRI. Okay, the ultrasounds were one of them costed 977 peso. The other one was the big one. It was sort of a 2-part ultrasound, and it was like empty bladder, full bladder. Plus, they were checking the kidneys, bladder, and the prostate. So that was twice as much as the first one, or as the last one. So the very first one was there was 2. It was like a basically 2-parter, and it was about a total of like around 6,400 pesos. 3,050 and 3,328 pesos. Okay, the MRI was 7,300 pesos, which was basically about the same as the total of the other two ultrasounds or whatever. You know what I mean? Almost 3. Like actually, if you add up basically like the 3-part ultrasound, it was about the same. That was half of what the 1 MRI was. Okay. I'm giving you these numbers in pesos, but then I'm going to break it down into dollars also. Okay, and then I'm going to total everything. Now the physical therapy, there was, I believe, 5 appointments, and 4 of them cost 880, and then I think the first one was 1100 pesos. I think the first one, maybe I didn't have my ACR card yet or something, and I didn't get the discount. I don't think, maybe I didn't get the 20% discount on that first one, but I did on the other ones. So, and then of course there were doctor's appointments. There was 4, I think 4 with my regular doctor at 700 pesos each, totaling 2,800 pesos. And then there was one specialist, like a back spinal surgeon guy, and that was 1,000 peso appointment. So what you're looking at here, and I'm not gonna, I already totaled out the SRV. That's just like around $50 or whatever. That's just for your information. If anyone's gonna get a similar SRV type visa and they want to do the medical in the Philippines, that's what it'll probably cost you. This is in Manila also. So, all right. So the meds, like I said, the total was about $120. And for all those tests, right, the MRI and basically the 3-part ultrasound, which was 2 appointments, but basically like 3 parts or whatever, that was $263 US total. All right. And the physical therapy was $83 total. Okay, in dollars. And the doctor's visits, which was 5 doctor visits, that totaled about $68 US. Okay. And so basically the overall total, I think, not including the SRV, right, but just the other stuff, it totaled $532 approximately USD. Okay. And that was, like I said, for 3 different medications, for like whatever, 3 months each or whatever, or 2. One of them was maybe 2 months. One of them was 1 month. The other one is ongoing. And the test, there was like a kind of a 2-part, one big ultrasound. Then there was a regular, just a prostate ultrasound, and then 1 MRI. And then the physical therapy, I think there was 5 appointments total, 5 days. It was about an hour each. Each appointment was about an hour, give or take, 5-10 minutes. A couple of them were over, a couple of them were a little less, but they were around an hour each. The doctor appointments, like I said, 5 doctor appointments. They're about maybe 15 minutes each. They don't screw around here. Doctors. Once you get in, it's like, there's not a lot of like small talk. I mean, there's a little bit, but not that much. They're busy, and so am I, right? Like, you're already waiting maybe 30 minutes to see your doctor, if you're lucky, which is what it was with my regular doctor. I only ever waited maybe 30 minutes, never more than about 30 minutes, right? With the other doctor, the specialist, we waited 2 hours. Because, they said, well, we'll be there from 9 to 12. And I think it was a Saturday. 9 a.m. till 12. So we show up at 9:15. He don't show up until 10:30. So we should have just showed up at like 10 or 10:30. You know what I mean? But we just assumed that, the guy will be there at 9. No, he didn't get there till 10:30. But we got to see him by like 11. You know what I mean? So we were waiting about 2 hours for that one. That was like the most I've ever waited here, for like a doctor or whatever, But, oh yeah, also, and a lot of this, most of these costs, I got a 20% senior discount, especially once I got my ACR card, okay? A couple of things I didn't, you know what I mean? Like either I didn't have the card yet or whatever. But overall, probably 3/4 of this stuff I got discounts on. But I wanted to bring something up because just the other day we went to Watson's and it was a different Watson than we had been to before. It was in a different mall, and we had used them before, right? And Mercury as well. And I got the 20% discount, senior discount before with them, with Watson's, right? With another store. And of course with Mercury, never had a problem with Mercury at all. This one, store, she wouldn't give me she said, no, sir. She went and checked, and then she came back, and I don't know what they told her, but she said, no, number one, you have to be living here for 6 months. And I'm like, well, in about another week, it'll be 6 months, literally. But then I said, I've done this before. I've gotten discounts here before. I have my ACR card. What else do you need? And she mentioned some kind of card or some kind of document or something. I still don't know what she was talking about. And even my girl was like, didn't understand what she was saying. And I was just like, okay, so, whatever. It turned out not being a bad store visit because they did give me a discount on my regular medication, my Losartan, and it was about 20%, or maybe it might have been 20 or 30%. It was like some promotion that they were having. Plus, because we bought a certain amount of stuff, they gave me a free French press coffee maker. Just this little plastic one, but it works good. So that was probably like maybe a 300 or 400 peso item, right? And they gave it for free, with because we bought like 1,400 pesos worth of stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? With all the stuff that we bought, and my girl bought a few things, non-medicine things, right? So anyway, but this is a case in point though, where sometimes, depending on who the person that you're dealing with, is, whoever the employee is, you may not always get what you're supposed to get. You know, the bottom line, we're not going there again for medication. I mean, we'll go to another Watson's or whatever. The one in SM, across the street, they give discounts. And I even asked the Visa company that's helping me get my SRV visa. I said, do you know? I mean, they must know about this stuff, right? Like, involving like foreigners getting senior discounts while living in the Philippines. And I asked them about it. And she said, yeah, she said, I don't know what they're talking about. Any other kind of document. The ACR card is the one that they would normally only ask for. If you have that, and it's a picture ID, it's got your birth date on there, that's enough. So in other words, she just probably figured, like me, that this person made a mistake, and whoever told them about this rule was mistaken. You know. So, but that was the only time But like I said, the overall visit was almost the same because with the free item I got and the other discount on my regular meds, it was about the same. It equaled out to be about the same, as if I would have got the discount on the other med. So, but anyway, guys, that's it. I don't want to babble on too long here. If you got any questions about anything, let me know. Don't hesitate to comment, like, subscribe, share. I heard one of my favorite vloggers. One time he said at the end of his video, he said, even if you don't like my video, share it with somebody you don't like. Like, in other words, share it with an enemy. If you don't like me, share it with someone you don't like. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, that's about it. I'm going to probably make a budget video, like a monthly budget video, just for us, or from us. And like I said, we're in Quezon City. It's not going to be the same for everybody who would come here. I mean, we're like a family of four people. And we don't have a car. So we're taking taxis and grabs and stuff like that. But I just want to kind of go through it anyway, and so that you have an idea how much it costs and stuff, or how much it can cost, to live here. So that's it, guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.